Hello guys, this is Prince Jaya Kenya with another video, and as you can see the title of the video, it's American Dream. You know, every dream have a source. If you see a person achieving something, that's or there was a journey for that person to achieve that thing, and there was a source for where it all begins. You know, there is this proverb that says a journey of 1,000 miles start with one step. So if you see a person achieving something, if you see a person having reached somewhere or in a certain stage, there is a process that it has taken a process, and it has taken a journey. All the thing that differs is from one person is to another is the type of your dream and the source of your where it all begin, and the challenges and obstacles that you faced towards or in the center towards the journey to your dream. Because let me tell you something, there is nothing that you can achieve easily in this world. You must everything. Life is a journey and success is a journey. There is no way you can achieve anything that you want in one day. It's a journey, and this journey usually differs from one person to another. There are some people that the journey might be longer than the other, and there are some people that maybe their journey, maybe their luck or by God's grace, their journey is not that long, it's somehow short. So I'm here so that we can talk about my American dream. Where was the source of my American dream? Before I relocated over here in America, have I ever seated or thought of myself being in America? So sit down and listen to me, watch me till the end. Now you're gonna come and know where all dreams begin and if dreams are valid and things like that. So I remember it was back in the year 2010. I was in class 7 back in my country, that is primary school, and I prayed God a crazy prayer. I don't know whether it is the right prayer that I prayed, but I prayed this prayer because there is this CRE teacher. As you know, in Kenya, the school usually do the religious classes or religious education. Back in Kenya, students usually do the religious education in primary school. So as there is this CRE teacher that came and told us, if you can pray God anything, God usually answers prayer. And you know what? I digested that information that my teacher told me, and when I went back in my home, not the same day, I remember it was not the same day, but after a couple of days, I remembered what my teacher told me, and there was this girlfriend, or back then it was girlfriend, that I loved most, or I was in love with at that time. And I wanted to know whether this is the girlfriend that I wanna marry in future. Remember, I was in class 7. That's why I said it's a crazy prayer request to God. But it's myself. My mind usually learns a lot. I think that's the reason to why even in my primary school and in my young age, my mind could learn like an adult mind. So I asked God that I remember it was one night, after a couple of days after my CRI teacher telling us that if you pray God anything, God usually answers. After a couple of days, I was going to go to pick milk in my neighborhood, although it's a long distance neighbor. So back in my village, you usually go to take the milk from, if you doesn't have a cow in your home, so maybe you usually purchase the milk from another neighbor. So it was a distance, and I remember it was around 6 o'clock. It was around 6 o'clock going to 7 o'clock there. It was around that because the dark has already started to begin to the priest has already started to get dark. So I digested the information all my way to go to pick milk, and all my way coming back to after getting the milk, I came digesting in my mind how about the information that the teacher told us, that if you can pray God anything, God can answer. And now the thing that I wanted to know is whether this girl is the one that I gonna marry in future. I said it's a crazy prayer request because with my years and the prayer request, you can see that those two things, with the years and my age, hapana haziendani. I mean, those two things doesn't rhyme. That's what I have spoken in Swahili language. So, and you know what? God usually answers prayer, because at that night, I remember I saw 2 dreams attached in one dream. I saw 2 dreams attached in one dream. The first dream, God showed me in a home, in a well familiarized home. There is another home in my neighborhood, allowed, let me call it 200 meters from my home. The owner of that home relocated to another place, but left that home vacant. So I saw myself, now I was the owner of that home, and I saw myself with a woman with the 2 kids, something like that. I didn't see the face of the woman clearly. Or the face of the kids, but that dream came like a spark of an eye, or what can I do? Twinkle of an eye. I just saw it like 1 minute, and it all went. I didn't see that again. But I saw a woman, and I saw 2 kids, something like that. But attached to that dream, now that is when I saw myself that I was coming out of America, and the place that I saw, and there were a lot of people, even big people in Kenya, that had came to not JKIA. I'm sorry, I didn't see the JKIA. There in my village, there is a place that there is a junction of 3 roads. So I saw that is the place that they came to pick me from airport. I didn't see the real airport, but I saw the airport was the junction of 3 roads in my village. My home is in Lulo. It's in Nyandarua County. So I saw myself that in that junction there were those guys, all my family friends and those big guys in Kenya coming to welcome me as I came from America. So I saw that dream, and because I was still a kid, I didn't digest what it all meant, because even what I had prayed for God to show me my wife. And when I woke up, the only dream that now could stick in my head is the one that I prayed God to show me my wife. About the American dream, or the one that God showed me coming out of America, I didn't care about it. I didn't bother about it. So days went on. I completed my primary school, went on to high school. So I remember in the year 2013, after Christmas celebration 25th, we decided, me and some of my few brothers, it was one of my brother and some my nieces, to go to a center. It is called Gano. It is the bigger center than the center in my area, my village. So we decided to go and tour, because we had, after it was in noon time, we had nothing to do. So we decided, why don't we go to Gano, at least to tour around. And when we entered to this Nissan, the matatu, or the matatu, let me call it matatu, there is this gentleman. I know him, and I only knew him because he belonged to another village, not my village. But that guy, or that gentleman, knew my sister, and I was with my sister too in that vehicle. So when we entered in that vehicle, that gentleman greeted my brothers and my sisters, because he himself was already seated in the matatu. So he greeted my brothers and my sisters, and when he checked me, he asked me, he said this one, that I look like I come from America. And he asked me, how is America? You know, the reason why he asked me so, it's because I had worn bring, that is some chains, some bangles, things like that. I had weared some chains, I had some bangles, a lot of them. In my head, I had a big hair. I can see I have started like growing my hair again. It was long since I let my hair grow long or tall. So that guy, I had worn a bandana. For those Swahili speakers know a bandana. It's like a covering, head covering. So that guy, the way I had worn it's like a nigger. So that guy said that I look like I have come from America, and he asked me, how is America? I didn't digest what he said. I just laughed and let that go. So that was 2013. So in the year 2014, I again saw the American dream. I saw myself in the Coast Guard. Somewhere it was a Coast Guard. Now this is a new place that I have never seen. I saw myself with another friend of me that I know. Us together, living, staying and praying somewhere. There was a lot of water, or I can say a lake or something like that. And I saw that it is America. I didn't figure. Also, at that time, I didn't figure about it, because I think I was in my teenagehood. So my mind, although it could learn fast, it could not digest things fast. So 2014 came, I dreamt again. 2016 came. That's when I saw myself a place. There were blacks and white people. I didn't know whether I saw that from watching some of the movies from the American movie or the Mexican movie. I don't know, but I saw myself a place there were white people with blacks, and I saw myself in a church. In this church, it had a lot of blacks, and I saw myself talking Swahili. And then one of the things that shocked me in a dream when I woke up, talking Swahili in America, and I asked myself, was that a real America? But I could see it is a real America because I saw some few blacks, some few whites in that church, and a lot of blacks. And I remember I was preaching in English, then switched to Swahili language because there were a lot of blacks. So after 2016, I completed my high school. I didn't pass well. That one I usually don't hide because I usually want to motivate those people that didn't make well in high school. You know, while we were in high school, we all used to say that when I grow up, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a doctor. Yes, dreams is valid, but it's not a must to become that engineer, but you can succeed even with other ways, because education is just one key source to success. It is not the only key to success. In this world, we got to have millions of people succeeding in different ways. So I didn't pass well, and because I didn't pass well, the way it is like in Kenya, if you don't pass well, now you know, and your parent can't afford to pay you for a course, you don't have an option. You have to go to town or to anywhere else to hustle like other men. So I had no option but to go out to town to hustle like other men. So I went to hustle here and there, and when I was hustling, there was no way I thought of maybe to do anything or to go to America or to anything to do with that. So I hustled for like few months, maybe from January to September, and then there it came a chance to join the National Youth Service. And you know what, I decided, why don't I join the National Youth Service, so that at least the government can give me a free course for the 3 years term service of the service. So I joined the National Youth Service, and now it is the year 2018 while I was in the National Youth Service that I tried, that I thought of, because I'm in National Youth Service, and I have seen like joining the service or becoming a police or an army is not that hard. Because while I was in primary school and secondary school, I used to say I can't be a police, I can't be an army, because I used to think those guys are like out of this world, the way they are serious. I usually think their training is that hard. I usually used to see them like they are not real human being. But when I entered the National Youth Service, did my paramilitary training, that's when the thing of joining the service now started to come into my blood, or I started to love it. So the year 2018, I thought of maybe trying the police service, now the one that I'm gonna be paid, because National Youth Service is a voluntary service and it is temporary, because after getting your course, you go home and start out to figure out how you can start life with the course that maybe they have given you. So that's when I thought of, why don't I join the police or the army? But after trying joining those courses, police and army, for the police I was called 5,000 Kenya shilling, and by a certain guy to help me. Although I gave him 5,000 before, now he can process the papers for me. Those who live in Kenya, they know how all things goes there. But he called me, and then it was published that there will be no interview or there will be no recruitment in the year 2018. So about the army, it was very hard for me to join, because even the grade that I had, it was somehow way below the required grade. So after trying that one, now I started to figure out, after now completing my service in the National Youth Service, where will I go? What will I be doing? That's now when I started like to ask myself, where will I go, or where will I be? The thing is, on the October, now let me come to the clear point, or to make myself clear. In the month of October, I remember I was in my house, and when I was in my house, my parents, my dad and my mom, were in the kitchen, and were in the kitchen or in the room. In the kitchen in my country, we usually, some parents sometimes they hang up in the kitchen while maybe your mom is cooking, and your dad is just there when it is cold, warming himself by firewood, something like that. So my dad called me, come from my room, the one that I used to, the gira, we call it the gira, Kikuyu in Kenya. So he called me and he showed me the status. A person had posted a status in WhatsApp of a guy who was talking in vernacular language, or my mother tongue language, telling people to apply green card so that they can relocate here in America. And when my dad showed me that, he told me to try my luck. And because I had a smartphone, I tried to fill in I entered into that website, tried to fill those questions, took a passport photo with my phone. That was 2018, and attached the passport photo. But when I went to the submitting place, I tried to submit, it could not go through. At that time I didn't know what was the reason why it could not go through, but years later, that's when I came to realize sometimes when you try to submit your entry, because of many people that are accessing the website, it can take a while, or it can have some problem of you accessing the website. So when I tried once to submitting it, first time, second time, and it didn't go through, I just decided to leave alone about it. But in the year 2019, that's when I was the year that I was going to complete my National Youth Service term, or to end my contract, the National Youth Service. And the real life question started to hit me, like, after this, where am I going? After this, where am I going? What will I be doing? So that's when I remember in the year 2018, when my dad told me about green card, and that's when I started the dream that I started dreaming about America since 2010 started to pop up in my head again. And I could see like all those dreams, like I dreamt yesterday. And you know for what? I decided now, I think this American dream, I gonna try it, because I dreamt it first time when I was a kid. I dreamt it several years later, and again in the year 2018, my dad showed me about green card. Now the thing is, I will start searching information about green card, and I'm gonna try the green card this year, the year 2019. And you know what? I started now looking for the green card groups in Facebook. I started all the means that I can get the information about green card. And the year 2019, I tried my first trial, but didn't go through. So the year 2020, that's when I tried my second trial, and God showed himself upon me, and I won the green card, and I'm here in the United States. So the reason why I have given you that wrong story is to tell you that if you see a person having succeed, or having attained or achieved something, that person has a wrong story before he achieved that thing. That person or that dream has a source where it all began. Maybe you are there, you have a dream that you dreamt since your childhood. Maybe you are there is this dream that usually pops every now and then in your head. Maybe there is this dream that you usually have in your life that you want to achieve. Let me tell you, dreams are all varied. If you do follow up the dream that you dreamt when you were a kid, if you follow up the dream that maybe God showed you, and that dream, you know, there is that dream that is not a normal dream. It's a vision. There is a difference between a dream and a vision. Dreams are of different type. There is this dream that you dream because you are full. Maybe you ate a lot. You overfeed. That is a normal dream. There is this dream that you usually dream due to occurrence of the things that we see daily, the people that we meet, or things like that. If you see a movie, or if you are a fan of a TV a lot, you might dream with a certain television program that comes over there. And there is this dream that I call now a vision, that is a message from God showing you the spirit things that exist in spiritual world. Sometimes God can come and show you things that will happen some years later, or some years past. So these are what we call vision. So the year 2010, when I saw about this American dream, that was a vision, although I didn't digest about it. But some several years later, the year 2019, that's now when I decided now the vision that I saw in 2019 to try my luck. And you know what? I tried my luck, but it didn't go through. But the second trial, God showed me up. So if you have a certain dreams in your life that it has not yet been achieved, don't give up. Pray God about that dream. Try all you can for you to achieve that dream. And one day, that dream will come true. Because I believe that dreams are varied. The person that you see achieving something, that person one day, it was in his mind. All things that you see physically were one day in mind, or in imagination, or in spiritual world, before they were transformed into physical world. So the dream that you usually see, it already exists in the spiritual world, or in the imagination world. Now the thing is to transform it into physical world. And all the thing you will need is to pray God to help you, and to take a step of faith. And when you take a step of faith and try your best and leave God the rest, one day your dream will come true. One day you will testify, and one day you will also inspire and motivate other people, telling them that dreams are valid. So may God bless you, may God fulfill your heart desires. May that dream that maybe you have been dreaming of since you were a child, may that dream that maybe you might be dreaming of wherever, from when, I don't know, may God bring it to fulfillment, something like that. Sometimes English give me some headache or bump from mom, I don't know, something like that. So to the real point, may God bless you, may God be with you, may God fulfill your heart desires, and may that dream that you usually have in your life come to fruition and come true one day. So continue subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please continue sharing this content and continue inviting more people to subscribe so that we can grow bigger and better, and one day we shall get there to the place that you usually desire. May God bless you, and bye bye.